I think we got to give it to the Red Sox. These guys will not go down without a fight. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and the Boston Red Sox are a shell of themselves right now. They're slowly healing a little bit, but as of right now, this team, every single one of their best players is currently either on the IL or riding the bench. With Triston Casas over the weekend, now officially joining them, we are going to have more information about that injury probably later today. We'll probably make a second video today, but either way, regardless of these injuries, regardless of the state of the team, the Boston Red Sox found a way to sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates this weekend, winning all 3 games away at PNC Park. That officially puts them at 13-10 on the 2024 season and third place in this division. The Boston Red Sox are fighting here. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to break this series down. We're going to talk about the good, talk about the bad, talk about the ins and outs, and of course, how all of this is going to affect the 2024 season. But before we get into that, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Just helps them out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so when it comes to highlights, I think we have to start with the starting pitching with this Red Sox team because it truly is what's keeping it afloat. Brayan Bello may have had what was his best start of the season in this series. He went 6 innings, allowing just 1 hit, struck out 7, and walked 2. This brought his season ERA down almost to 3 at 3.04. His FIP all the way down to 3.13. If you remember, that was sitting in the high 4s before this start, and his ERA plus up to 1.39. There are still a little bit of bumps with Brayan Bello, and you could tell he's still working on stuff, mainly with his slider, but it's looking a lot better here, and that's a really great sign. I think Bello is finally settling into this season. It's something we're going to have to see play out, but he looked much more in command of his off-speed pitches, which is going to be huge for the Red Sox going forward. Cutter looks fully settled in, though. He continues to dominate. 6 innings, 1 earned run, his first since April 5th, brought his ERA up to a staggering 0.66. Oh no. He did allow a lot of hits, though, with 7, but he struck out 6 and walked 3. You could tell he didn't have his best stuff in this start, but he still went out there, got the job done at an extremely productive level. And what I love, too, about this ending of his start, which I think everyone loved, right, was seeing Alex Cora come out there and say, no, we're not taking you out. This is your guy. Go and get him. And that's exactly what Cutter did, because that's the next step here with Cutter Crawford. We know the talent and the ability is there. It's all about ensuring that you are able to consistently get deep into games. And Alex Cora knows that. Cutter knows that. And they executed it really well in this series, able to go again 6 innings. Cutter Crawford just flat out continues to be excellent. Josh Witkowski got his first start of the season here. It was basically a bullpen game, but he did pitch a majority of the innings. He obviously isn't stretched out to be a starter, so he only made it through 3 1/3 innings, but it really wasn't too bad. 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 K with no walks. What's really interesting this year about Wink, and really since he's joined the Boston Red Sox, is that he gets basically no strikeouts when he's starting games. Even when it's in an opener type role, he's just not getting a ton of swing and misses. And it's not like he's not striking guys out this year. He's at a 13.1 K per 9, which is really solid, but he just doesn't miss bat opening games. However, we will get the opportunity to see if he can correct that, though, because Alex Cora announced after the game yesterday that Josh Witkowski will most likely be staying in this rotation. Overall, like I said, I don't think it's an unpopular take. I don't think it's a rare take for me to say that the big reason why the Boston Red Sox are where they are at this moment, despite all of these just brutal injuries Red Sox fans have been kicked in the gut with, is because of this starting rotation. They are still leading Major League Baseball in ERA at 1.73, and they're second in Major League Baseball with a whip even at 1. That's just unbelievable. We're almost a full month into the year here. We've had spot starters come throughout this entire month as well. It's not like it's been a sturdy, steady rotation of players over this month that have just been killing it. No. Brandon Bernardino's been in there. Cooper Criswell's been in there. Josh Witkowski's been in there. So you've had a cast of characters here, and all of them have been able to be productive as either your opener or starter within a game. And that, to me, is the most impressive part. And again, it's a really, really big reason why the Boston Red Sox are where they are right now, if not the biggest reason. The bullpen in this series was pretty good. Only Joely Rodriguez and Cam Boozer, who allowed an earned run. I'm going to give Boozer a bit of a pass. You could tell how emotional he was after the game. Really cool moment. Outside of that, no other earned runs from the Red Sox bullpen. It was a bit of a scuffling Pittsburgh Pirates team, but you still had to go out there. You had to execute, and that's what the bullpen did. One thing that I want to point out about the bullpen is that Kenley Jansen looked a lot better. We've seen Kenley look really, really rocky to begin the 2024 season. He looked a little bit better, a little bit more in control in his last outing, which hopefully is a good sign of things to come. Justin Slayton continues to just not look like a human being because he's just so good at baseball. He looks like a pitching robot. Chase Anderson, shout out Chase Anderson. He pitched 4 innings out of the bullpen in these 3 games, and he really has sort of been a big reason why the Red Sox have been able to continue to stay healthy in the bullpen, despite the fact that you're having to use openers a couple of days a week. Chase Anderson is quietly one of the MVPs of this team right now, and I think he deserves that. Shout out. As for the offense in this series, there was actually a pretty decent amount of it, despite the fact that the Red Sox had a AAA lineup for most of the innings in this one. Wilyer Abreu stepping up right now in a big way. He had 7 hits in this series, including his first home run of the year that just flat left the stadium. I mean, that's impressive power right there. That's literally out of the park power. He also had 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. He was maybe the biggest reason for the Red Sox success in this series, at least offensively, right? I still think the pitching carried them, but Wilyer did a lot of good in helping the Red Sox win games here. He is going to be absolutely crucial to this offense going forward with Triston Casas out and probably not coming back for a while. It is a really great sign that he is starting to produce. What I'm curious is whether or not this is a hot streak or this is something he's going to be able to sustain over a longer period of time. Now, obviously not as hot as he is right now, but a productive bat within the Red Sox lineup towards the middle of the Red Sox lineup is exactly kind of where we need Wilyer Abreu right now. Is it something he can do over 162? Rob Refsnyder came back on fire. He came back and hit his first home run of the year in his second game back of the season. He had 2 doubles and 3 RBIs as well. What's really interesting is that he's been performing really well out of the 3-hole for the Red Sox dating back to last year. I mean, when you say Rob Refsnyder, you're not exactly saying, oh, that is your number 3 hitter, but he's been an above average player when he hits third for the Red Sox over the last 2 years. I didn't realize how much this team missed a Rob Refsnyder type bat in the lineup, and what I think they really missed was watching a guy who continuously worked counts like Rob Refsnyder does. He goes up there and he's always putting together a really good at bat. We weren't seeing that all that much, especially from this AAA lineup that the Red Sox have to put out there, and to see it from Rob Refsnyder, I think gave the rest of these guys a little bit of, okay, I think I could do the same thing. And we really saw a lot of pretty good at-bats in this series, minus Bobby Dahlbeck probably. Everyone else was putting together good at-bats. Even Bob was putting together good at-bats. And I think part of that had to do with Rob Refsnyder coming back and leading by example. Ceddanne Rafaela hit his first big league fly of 2024. It was an absolute shot. It would have been a home run, I think, at every single ballpark except maybe one. He's still struggling at the plate, definitely mightily. He's still trying to get his feet under him and try and get to a consistent level. But to be honest with you, anything from Ceddanne offensively is just a bonus. I think he's too valuable defensively. He moved to shortstop in this series. I honestly think Ceddanne Rafaela needs to be your starting shortstop going forward. We've talked about it. Everyone's talked about it. It's a no-brainer move. Now that Rob Refsnyder's back, now that Tyler O'Neill should be back tomorrow, it's going to allow the Red Sox to do that. And to me, that's the most important aspect here. So even if he strikes out 4 times a game every game, he's still going to help you win ball games with that defense and plugging that hole in the middle infield. Masataka Yoshida hit a home run in this series as well. He had 4 hits in 2 games. He's starting to lift the ball a bit more, which is a really great sign, and the numbers are starting to get back towards league average, which again is also a great sign. Him and Wilyer Abreu, I think, are the 2 guys you need to look at, because obviously Rafael Devers needs to be Rafi and Tyler O'Neill needs to be productive, but in terms of making up production for the loss of Triston Casas, I think it's Wilyer and Masataka Yoshida, 2 guys who had been struggling, who have the potential to combine to create Triston Casas production. And Masa hitting well in this series is a good sign. I will say he wasn't in the 3rd game at all, even when they had the opportunity to pinch hit for him. I don't know what that's about. I'm hoping he's not super banged up. I'm hoping it's not an off-field issue. So we'll see what that is probably at some point today if it's anything. But that is a little bit of cause for concern. And here's the Triston Casas home run because, to be honest with you, I think it's the last Triston Casas home run we are going to see for a long time. And I just want to savor these because they are so majestic and I'm going to miss them so much. Overall, when you look at this series as a whole, I'm really, really impressed. Not because they beat the Pittsburgh Pirates solely. Again, they are scuffling really hard. I don't know if the Pittsburgh Pirates will ever be able to get themselves back up to the level that they started this season at. But because of the fact that the Boston Red Sox have just been constantly beat down since basically the Trevor Story injury, 6-7 games into the season. Every game after that, they've been constantly beat down and beat down and beat down, whether that be by errors and their own doing or by things they can't control, like the front office not giving them any support or injuries happening basically every single day. And they really had 2 options. They could have sat there in this series. They could have said, man, look at this lineup. We have guys who probably should never be starting a major league game in this lineup, and we don't know when we're going to get our all-stars back. What's the point of going out there? We're just going to lose. We're not going to be able to compete. And instead, what they did is they went out there and they did compete. They gave it their all. They fought. They continue to fight. And I absolutely love that from this Red Sox team because let's be honest here. It's a bit of a miracle the Red Sox are above 500 at all, let alone 3rd place in this division, really just a game and a half behind the Baltimore Orioles, who have been lighting the world on fire. The Red Sox, they're competing and they're doing it without any of their good players or any of their players that we thought were going to be their main players going into the season. To me, that's really impressive, and that absolutely deserves some credit here to the players, the credit to the manager. It's been really impressive to watch this team sort of just straight battled through adversity, and this, to me, coming into Pittsburgh and sweeping this series with another massive blow to this lineup is honestly the most impressive part of this. I'm super encouraged by what the Boston Red Sox have been able to do despite all of this adversity, and it gives me a bit of hope that this team can still surprise a lot of people, because eventually they are going to get a lot of these guys back. Some of them you're not going to see for the rest of the year, but a lot of these guys are coming back and coming back fairly quickly. I'm kind of excited to see what this team looks like when it's fully healthy and good to go. If the starting pitching can continue to pitch the way they are, and you could start to get a Rafi-sized bat in this lineup, a Tyler O'Neill-sized bat in this lineup, they could be a really dangerous team. And what this series showed me was that that is 100% possible because of the supplemental pieces that are putting together really solid seasons so far. But that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this series? I think it has a pretty big impact on this season because it's going to instill confidence that even without your guys that you normally lean on, you were able to get this job done. And confidence is extremely important with a young team like this. But again, just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, do you think it affects the 2024 season? What you like in this series? What you not like in this series? Let me know all your thoughts on the Red Sox sweeping the Pirates in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, like I said, we talk Sox content almost every single day. Plus, you made it to the end here, you might as well hit that sub button. You also might as well hit that like button as well. Just helps these videos out a ton and mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.